I heard what you said, and then I was like, oh yeah, they kidnapped his fiance. Wait, what? Okay, well, welcome the fuck back, Craig. We're back with some hot premium shit talks, fresh from the shit crops. How's it going, Sam?
Corn.
Agreed. Okay. What? Why'd you just... Sam?
I don't know, when I heard crops, the first thing I thought of was corn, okay?
I mean, like, I guess that can relate to our podcast, because, like, it's shit, and corn, you still see corn in your shit, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. This is not how I was expecting this to go. I'm sorry, Craig. I'm sorry you had to hear this. This is my poor attempt at doing an intro, a flashy intro.
All right, well, regardless, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, we're here.
Can I get to the story of the day?
Yes, please.
I've been following this one intently, so I don't really need to read off anything.
Okay.
But, so we have Vancouver has the SkyTrain as, like, their main source of transit.
Yes.
It's a big thing, and it's constantly being used. And so as part of, like, this big, like, people aren't talking about the fact that it's a big advertising thing for this credit card company. And Morgan Freeman is a spokesperson for this credit card company that's apparently trying to expand in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, TransLink is trying to stop people from using their credit cards by accident when tapping their wallets on fare gates and whatnot.
Right.
So the thing that they were going to do for a chunk of the summer was they were going to have all these different voice recordings done by Morgan Freeman himself instructing Vancouverites on how to work fare gates for Compass and whatnot. And it was a noble idea.
Okay.
I mean, it was cheap and stupid product placement, but it was a noble enough idea.
Right.
Then something funny happened.
Okay.
People who weren't me found out that Morgan Freeman is kind of a pervert.
All right.
I mean, I already knew, because there's been articles that we don't talk about, but he had an affair with his granddaughter for a number of years.
Oh, I mean, all of this is news to me.
Clearly, you don't follow the news because, well, that specific part was not in the news recently. But on top of that, he just this week has been hit by like several harassment accusations.
Oh,
so I wouldn't go far enough to say that he's the next Bill Cosby.
But
he's certainly in hot water. The crimes he's being accused of are not as bad as Bill Cosby's, so I'm not going to go there.
Okay, all right. That's good question mark.
But regardless, of course, they're going to have to get rid of those messages. And so the one man who has offered to come in and replace them is Vancouver native Seth Rogen, who I've heard is a cool guy.
Oh.
I know people who have met him. He seems like a cool guy.
I didn't know he was from Vancouver.
Yeah, he's a Vancouverite.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know that.
Went to school in, I think, Point Grey area. Rich kid, spoiled.
Okay.
But now that we're done with the story of the day, which
wait, hold on. While we're on the topic of famous people from Vancouver, or like the Vancouver area at the very least, apparently Michael Bublé went to the same high school as my dad.
Yeah, no, he went to school in the area. His house, there's a house.
Yeah, he's building a mansion here.
Yeah, basically going against city law to build like this insane mansion.
Yeah, because he wants to live where he grew up as a kid. He's
a bit crazy, but whatever. Decent singer. But speaking of Vancouver and celebrities,
Yeah.
I want to talk about a movie that was made in Vancouver back in the early 2000s that I watched a few days ago. And it's a
Okay.
movie nobody talks about because it bombed and then everybody forgot about it. And I don't think it ever became a cult film.
All right. Now I remember Sam telling me a little bit about this the other day, and I still don't even know what the fuck it's about. There's something like if we are still talking about the same thing, then it's like about
Yes,
a
we are
nun,
talking about the same thing.
a gay guy.
So it's a movie, and I'll have you over to watch it sometime, Dexter. Maybe we can do a
Okay.
commentary.
All right.
But it's a movie called Saving Silverman. And
Okay.
it's got the kid from American Pie, Jack
Hey.
Black's in it. It's got the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket, and basically a bunch of other guys that nobody remembers.
So it's got a whole lot of A-list celebrities, is what you're saying.
I guess so.
How could it have bombed?
Let me go through the plot of this story, how this film, how I remember it, because it's very weird movie. And if I'm getting stuff wrong, because I may be getting stuff wrong, you can correct me in the comments if you've actually seen this film. If you're one of like the 5 people who actually remembers this movie, I will be shocked if you watch this.
Wait, hold on. Are you gonna be getting this stuff wrong because like you can't quite remember, or because it's like super layered and it's about a whole lot of like metaphorical shit?
No, it is not one of those kind of pretentious movies.
Okay.
Here gives you a little bit of context. It's from the same guy that directed probably half of Sandler's 90s comedies.
Oh, so what you're telling me is these are really intellectual comedies.
These are like very lowbrow kind of comedies. So it's that kind of thing. Right. It's basically like a really perverted, messed up Adam Sandler comedy.
Oh. So it's an Adam Sandler comedy.
It's a lot more messed up than a Sandler comedy, believe it or not.
Okay. All right.
So anybody. So anyways, you know, we start off with the film. It's about these 3 guys, Darren, Wayne, and JD.
Okay.
And they've been best friends since, I want to say middle school, it might have been high school. They've been best friends for a really long time is what I'm saying.
Okie doke.
And so now it's been many years later, and, you know, they live together now. They drink beers and watch footballs on Monday nights or whatever. And
you know what
they've all got their own jobs. So JD, who's played by Jack Black, but anyways, I'm just gonna call him Jack Black for simplicity's sake.
I'll call
the other characters by their names, but Jack Black would be Jack Black.
All right.
Because that makes things even funnier. So Jack Black's working at a Subway.
Right.
Silverman is working at an old folks' home. And Wayne, who you could actually almost call the main character, Wayne runs his own company doing like pest control and shit.
I don't know why. I initially misheard you. I thought you said his name was Wang.
No, his name is not Wang. So Wayne has his job. And so the 3 of them, they all do their thing. They're trying to get by. And then to make a little bit of extra money on the side, and I think I mentioned this movie is shot in Vancouver, so you get some really nice shots of like downtown circa 2000, 2001. To make some money on the side, they have a Neil Diamond cover band complete with costumes and wigs that they perform as at like night markets downtown.
Okay, then. All right.
I don't know why Neil Diamond, but
yeah, whatever. I mean, sure. All right.
Okay, so here's where the plot kicks in. So they're hanging out at a bar one night after they performed. They're still in costumes and everything. And they see this chick who's like sitting alone at a table at the bar. And like Wayne and Jack Black are like, "Yo, Silverman, that girl's like damn fine. You should like go talk to her." And like the girl's getting approached by dudes already and stuff. This like 40-year-old man comes up to her and like tries to seduce her with like magic tricks and shit. It's really weird. But like eventually, and it's like really awkward. But Silverman does approach this girl, and she's like, "Yeah, okay, let's go on a date."
Oh shit! It actually worked.
I don't know how.
Okay, then. Maybe it was a pity date. Maybe she's just like, oh my god, I need to say yes to this guy.
Well, it all makes sense eventually. So the movie all of a sudden jumps to. It has to be at least maybe even a few years later, because all of a sudden Silverman and this girl are living together.
Oh.
So like shit's pretty serious. And like I don't want to get too nasty, but this is a raunchy comedy, so I'm warning you, I'm getting some pervy shit.
Okay, that's fine.
Anyways, so they're living together and stuff, and Silverman, like, he's talking to her one day, and he's like, like, I think we should finally have sex. And she's like, oh, I'm not ready, but we can still do other things. So, like, he goes down on her and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And, like, he's like, he comes up, he's like, okay, and he's, like, ready to reciprocate. And she's like, here you go, and just, like, hands him a Playboy magazine.
Wow. That's funny. Yes.
So, like, clearly that's not the best of relationships.
Yeah. I mean, like,
I told you this is a weird movie, Dexter.
Hold on, they've been living together for like X amount of time, and yet they still haven't done the deed.
I don't know, dude, but
they didn't do the dance with no pants.
Because at this point, Wayne and Jack Black have realized, like, oh shit, what did we do? We screwed up with Silverman. Now he's with like this like fucked up girl. We have to get him away. And then all of a sudden, she proposes to him, and
what
he
the
says
fuck?
Yes. So they're engaged. They have this big party. It's all fancy and stuff. Wayne and Jack Black aren't invited.
Oh, what the
So
shit?
they like show up because he's actually technically not allowed to see them anymore. The girlfriend has forbidden him from seeing them.
But that's not how relationships work, Sam.
Exactly. That's the crux of the film.
What the fuck?
They like come to his house one day to like, I don't know. He left like a helmet at their house or something. So they go to return it, and like they show up and there's just like this really fancy engagement party happening.
Wait, what kind of helmet?
I don't know. It was like a motorcycle helmet or something. Cause like he drives one of those like piece of shit Vespas around.
Okay. All right. Sure. I don't know where I was gonna go with that. I was gonna take that somewhere, but I dropped it off before I prematurely.
So they show up and there's like these two guys in suits talking to Silverman, and Jack Black's like, "Who are you guys?" And they're like, "Oh, we're Silverman's friends." And Jack Black literally says like, "Fuck you, replacement friends. We had Silverman first." That's like, I think that's exactly what he says, or just something like that.
Wow.
And it's the weirdest thing.
I like this guy, Jack Black. He's a cool guy.
He's actually, I can't tell if the character is perfect for Jack Black or if he's the worst possible Jack Black character because he's a freaking idiot, but in a stupid kind of way. I don't know. I really want to laugh at his character, but he's just not funny. He's just like a little bit too awkward to be funny.
Oh. Okay then.
But again, I'm trying to remember this all. So meanwhile, while this is happening, there's this girl that like back in high school, because back in high school, Silverman was on like the cheerleading squad, and Wayne was like a bench warmer on the football team, and then JD was like the mascot. So they were all sort of involved with the football team. So they all know the coach, who's a character in the movie, but they weren't technically football players.
Yeah, they're like misfits.
So there was this girl on the cheerleading squad that like Silverman was like madly in love with. And then she moved away because, like, all of her family were, like, part of the circus. Like, her mom's a bearded lady. Her dad's a strong man. I think her brother, like, looks like a dog or something.
Wow,
so,
that
like,
sounds like...
they all moved away to, like, literally join the circus.
That sounds like an amazing family.
But anyways, like, she comes back to town out of the blue, like, 10 years later.
Okay.
And Wayne and Jack Black are like, holy shit, we need to set her up with Silverman so that he doesn't marry this bitch.
Hold on. Is it for like a circus show? Like, is the circus in town and that's why she's
No,
there?
I'll explain in a minute why she's back in town.
Okay, all right.
It is definitely the last thing you'd expect.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is all going on. And like they run into her And Wayne's like, yo, you seriously need to like meet up with Silverman. You guys need to like go out or whatever. And like he's like, he just straight up asks her, are you single? And she was like, technically yes, but I haven't explained why I'm back in town. And she's like, I'm actually,
okay.
what happened was I felt like, because she was like a trapeze artist in the circus, and she's like, I fell madly in love with my partner. And like, he did this jump and I like this really crazy trick and I caught him, but then my hand slipped and he ended up like falling to his death in the middle of the circus.
Oh my god.
So she's like, okay, so now I need to repent for this horrible deed I felt I did. And so I joined a convent. And now, like, this Sunday, I'm officially becoming a nun. So I can't technically go on a date with Silverman.
Oh.
Random enough for you?
For fuck's sake. Silverman can't
So
win.
they're like, yeah. They're like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then at that point, Wayne and Jack Black are like, holy fuck, we need to do something. So what happens is they go into the house, they go into Silverman's house while Silverman's at work, and they try to kidnap his fiance.
What? Hold on. Wait. That I heard what you said, and then I was like, oh yeah, they kidnapped his fiance. Wait, what? What the fuck? I mean,
yes, this is where it gets even weirder.
I understand that it's already a pretty fucked situation, but you seriously, what the fuck? What are they gonna do with her?
It's so funny because like Wayne's like all ready to go. He's got like his tranquilizer gun and shit. And Jack Black, he's got like one of those nylon socks over his head, and it just makes him look even fatter.
Yeah, that seems like a fucking Jack Black
so
thing
like,
to do.
Wayne's like, I'll go upstairs, you go downstairs. So Jack Black immediately beelines for the fridge. And so like Wayne's on the radio, he's like, hey, do you see her? And it just cuts to Jack Black, and he's just like, he's taking his nylon sock half off, and he's just like eating spaghetti.
Yeah, that's a Jack Black character.
And meanwhile, Wayne finds her, and something that was already established, I believe, in the film is that this girl is actually like insanely good at, I don't know if it's like karate or what, but like there's like some martial art that she's like secretly a master at.
Oh, okay then.
So like she beats like the living crap out of him, and I think he ends up passing out. And then Jack Black comes up, and I guess Wayne eventually comes to, and they like work together, and they tranquilize her, and they put her in the trunk, and they bring her to their house and like tie her up in the basement.
Okay.
Then
this is going to a very good place.
They take her car, they push her off, they push the car off a cliff, it just fucking explodes.
Fucking god. What the hell are they doing?
They set up like a fake tombstone for her in like a nearby graveyard.
What the actual fuck?
So the next night, Silverman comes home from work. Like, this cuts to like a day later or whatever. And where's I going with this? You see how much this film broke me? It's just weird.
Yeah. Yeah. That's for fucking sure.
So the next night, Silverman's like, yo, what the hell happened to Judith? What the fuck? So he comes home and he goes on to the news, and it was like the weirdest thing is, and like it immediately cuts to like, because you know that's how it is in the movies. It automatically shows you the thing that the character needs to see.
Exactly.
And so the news person is like, oh well, Judith so and so died last night when her car flipped over a cliff and crashed and exploded, and the police do not suspect any foul play. It was just a car crash. We don't know what happened, but it wasn't like murder or anything.
Yeah.
So like Silverman's like freaking out. He's like super distraught because, you know, his fiance is dead.
Yeah.
So Wayne's like, well, shit, your fiance's dead. Might as well go on that date with Sandy.
Fucking god.
So Silverman does.
He does?
Yes. And at first he's like really quiet and awkward and like just being friendly, but like not romantic because like, you know, his fiance just died.
Yeah, like, oh my fucking god.
But then like Sandy starts singing Neil Diamond and he starts like getting really into it. And so like things are going really well for the two of them. Meanwhile, like, friggin' Judith is still tied up in the basement where Jack Black and Wayne live. And Jack Black's like the only one communicating directly with her, and he's doing it wearing his mascot costume so that she doesn't know it's him. So, like, there's a scene in this movie, and I remember it very well because it was so weird to me, where, like, you have Jack Black in, like, a bird mascot costume, and he comes into the room where this tied-up woman is, and he's like, I brought you some more VHS tapes. They're all, like, WWE shows and pornos, but maybe you'll like them. Wrestling and pornos, and, like, here's your food.
What was the food?
I don't remember. I don't think it was anything like that out of the norm. It was just like the breakfast that they'd made that morning or something. So like that keeps happening. Meanwhile, like Silverman's like really hitting it off with Sandy, so that's going really well. So eventually, Judith puts 2 and 2 together and like tricks Jack Black into revealing himself.
Oh shit.
And they get
okay.
in like this big fight, and she's like actually a trained psychologist. So she's like really good at emotional manipulation.
What the fuck? What is it? What isn't this lady? What the fuck? She's like a black belt in fuck you and a psychologist, and like I'm guessing she practices celibacy. I mean, like, what the fuck?
And like, so this is where the movie gets even weirder. I know you can't believe that, but this is where we get to even the next level.
How long is this movie again, Sam?
It's only like 90 minutes.
How does all of this happen in 90 minutes? This must have the worst pacing.
Honestly, no, it's pretty well paced. I didn't think about that. It's actually really well paced.
Holy shit. Okay, all right. I need to see this movie.
It gets weirder, though.
Okay.
So, like, Jack Black ends up having, like, a group therapy session with this girl, and he comes to a huge realization.
What?
He's gay.
Is he gay for Silverman?
No, he's just generally gay.
Okay.
So he's like, oh my god, I'm gay, I never realized. So, like, she tricks him and ends up, like, escaping, but they capture her anyways. And so, Silverman and Sandy go on another date, and it's like one of those, like, really fancy restaurants.
Right.
But, like, he's still really upset about, like, his fiance being dead.
Yeah, so like a normal human being.
Wayne's like, I'll tell you what, here's these pads. I'm going to have, like, a remote. I'm going to be, like, halfway across the restaurant. And if you mention Judith's name, I'm going to fucking zap your nipples.
Oh, my God.
So, like, he keeps mentioning Judith, and he keeps getting electrocuted, and, like, Sandy's getting really pissed off. And then he's like, okay, you know what, fuck it, let's go dance on the dance floor. So he keeps getting zapped, and he's, like, just dancing like crazy, because one of the security guards finds Wayne and keeps, like, beating the crap out of him and, like, punching him right where the mechanism is.
Oh, my God. Of course.
So Silverman just keeps getting zapped, and eventually Sandy's like, I don't know what's wrong with you, but, like, fuck this shit. No, because what happens is, like, all the electricity and stuff causes Silverman to actually accidentally set the entire restaurant on fire.
All right.
And so Sandy's like, you know what, fuck you, I'm out of here. And so she, like, drives back to the convent. She's like, fuck it, I'm actually going to become a nun. And he's like, no. So he literally runs, I think she said it was like 35 miles.
That's a lot of miles.
I don't know how he did it, especially in the time that is implied. I don't know what, it makes no sense.
Just did. Deus Ex Machina powers.
But he's like, hey, I'm sorry what happened, but, like, I came here. Can you forgive me? And she's like, yeah, fuck it. That's what God would do. And so I think they get, like, engaged at that moment. So meanwhile, Wayne and Jack Black are like, fuck. This girl knows who we are. How are we going to, like, stop this? So meanwhile, the coach from the beginning of the movie, the football coach.
Yeah.
Who, like, used to give them pep talks about how, like, all women are the devil, right?
Oh, okay. You didn't mention that, but all right, this guy.
But, so he's in jail because he got mad about a ref's call in a football game and ended up, like, stabbing him with, like, one of the flagpoles and, like, killing him.
Wait, what? Hold on, repeat that. What?
He got pissed off at a ref's call in a football game, so he like threw a flagpole at him and like accidentally stabbed him and killed him.
What the fuck?
I don't know. But anyways, he's in jail now. He's been in jail for a while.
Okay.
And, so they gave him a call and they're like, "Hey, coach, how's it going? Like, we got a problem. We kidnapped this girl and she knows who we are." And he's like, "Oh, well, you're fucking stupid, but there's an easy way to fix this." And they're like, "Oh, great, what's that?" He's like, "You need to fucking shoot her and kill her." And they're like, "Oh, shit."
Of course he fucking says that.
So they go down to the basement and they're like both holding the gun. And they're like, "We're gonna shoot you now." And she's like, "Bullshit, you're not gonna shoot me." So they don't shoot her. And then she successfully escapes that night.
Great. Just great.
And then you get to the next day, and I feel like I'm missing something because so much happened in this movie, but I genuinely don't feel like, I don't think I'm missing anything. I think this is how everything goes, more or less in order. But, so cut to, Sandy's now moving into, like, Judith and Silverman's old house. Right. Like, they're officially an item.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, because, like, just the day before, she was in the convent, right?
Yeah.
So they move in, they put the couch in. Like, they still got stuff to move. The door's open. First thing this girl does, takes off her shirt, starts making out with Silverman.
Great. That's the power of religion, Sam.
It was the weirdest thing. So while this is going on, Judith shows up at the house.
Okay.
And, like, it's hard to tell if, like, she's being legitimate or she's being, like, manipulative like she always is. But she's, like, super fucking distraught about the fact that, like, Silverman's friends kidnapped her, you know, tranquilized her, put her in chains. Oh, crap, there's another part I forgot.
What? Did they torture her?
I forgot. After she finds out who they are, but while she's still in the chains, she ends up, like, trying to seduce Wayne, and they end up making out.
What? What?
And the movie doesn't make a lot out of it, but it's a thing that happened.
Why? What? Oh, no. This is taking a toll on me, Sam. I didn't even see the movie.
It's okay. The movie's almost over. I'm almost done explaining the movie.
All right.
I'm almost done, believe me.
All right.
Although I am getting to the weirdest parts of the film.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So yeah, Judith shows up and she's all distraught and shit. And Silverman's like, you know, I'm really sorry to do this to you, Sandy, and like I feel like such a dick. But I mean, I am technically already engaged to this girl, so like you're gonna kinda have to move out now.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So Sandy's like, well, this really fucking sucks, but whatever, I'm gonna go be a non-officially now. I've made my decision. Which she keeps flip-flopping on.
Right.
And so she does that. And then all of a sudden there's a wedding date set for Silverman and Judith. And so Wayne and Jack Black show up at the house at the same time Judith does because they were chasing her down.
Right.
And they're like, Silverman, dude, we can explain. And he's like, no, you fucking can't. So he starts like beating the living shit out of them.
Right.
And then he keeps throwing them over the ledge on the porch. And then they land like directly onto Sandy's car while she's inside. And how she's like not destroyed by Jack Black and his massive body, I don't know.
Okay, that's actually pretty funny.
And she just like keeps crying and screaming. And it's the weirdest. That's the scene that felt the weirdest. It wasn't the weirdest scene, but that was the scene that felt the weirdest in the movie.
Yeah. I can see that. Like, if this movie had a bit more of a lighthearted tone, I think just, like, beating up your old, like, best friends and then throwing them repeatedly off of a balcony onto a car with somebody in it who's just screaming and doesn't know what the fuck is going on. That's pretty fucking funny.
Okay, so, like, the wedding day is set, and, like, it's the day of the wedding, and... Okay. Jack Black and Wayne are officially in jail for, you know, kidnapping a chick. So they have their one call. And it just so happens that the coach just recently got out on parole.
Oh my.
So they call him and they're like, Coach, we kind of fucked up. We're in jail. We need you to help us out. And he's like, yeah, okay. I'll post bail. I'm out now. It's all good. Except he doesn't post bail.
What does he do?
He shows up in Wayne's fucking business truck and backs into the wall of their cell and just helps them break out.
Of course he fucking does.
So they do that, but then coming up is actually the only moment in the film that I thought was actually really funny. So they're like, okay, well, fuck it. We got to stop this wedding. So what do? Let's go get Sandy at the convent. So they showed up right as she's about to take her vows to officially become a nun for the rest of her life.
Uh-huh.
And because this is a movie, she's like, yeah, okay, I'll leave with you guys. And this is the funniest part of the movie. The two nuns that are like doing the ceremony are just so distraught. And one of them goes, well, we lost another damn recruit. And the other one goes, yeah, son of a bitch. It's the funniest thing.
Alright, okay. Yeah, that's pretty fucking funny. Son of a bitch.
So they're like, okay, we got to get to the wedding. But before they get to the wedding, they need to get one more card for their arsenal. So they go to the nearby stadium where Neil Diamond is about to perform. And that or just finished performing.
Oh my god.
Now, Jack Black's character, and you see it in a flashback, he's actually got... Neil Diamond actually has a restraining order against him and Wayne.
Wait, hold on. You see it in a Jack Black flashback?
I guess. But yeah, they just flash back to like they're all like hanging out as like Neil's waiting to get like into his van after concert. You see that like they're all hanging out as like as Neil Diamond's get into his bus or whatever, and Jack Black's like, Neil, I just want to party with you, Neil, and he like pushes through the fence and just starts like hugging him, and like the security guard's pushing him off, and he's like, I just want to party with you, Neil.
Was he high?
I'm pretty sure the film implies that he was just sober and just really, really creepy.
Oh, okay then.
But anyways, despite this, they show up at the venue anyways. Yeah. And they get Sandy a new dress because she's still dressed as a nun. So they end up dressing her in like this incredibly slutty outfit that they somehow found at this stadium.
Perfect. That's exactly what they needed for a
like,
wedding.
Even less modest than a prostitute would wear.
So like
the whole thing, it looks like a fluffy bikini that she's wearing.
All right.
And so they show up and they're like, yo, so like, Neil Diamond, we know you have a restraining order against us, but like, the power of love, man, our friend needs your help. And he's like, well, Neil Diamond ain't gonna let nothing get in the way of love. So these guys who he has a restraining order against, he willingly enters their white van.
Okay, that seems legit.
And remember, this movie was made in like 2001. Neil Diamond was a star of the 70s. I don't know who came up with this idea.
Yeah, I don't fucking... What the hell?
So they get in the white van, they go driving to the wedding or whatever. And from here, most of the movie is pretty standard from here. You know, they show up, Neil Diamond starts singing, Sandy comes out in her hoe outfit, and Silverman's like, yeah, you know what, Judith, I can't do this. I'm going to marry Sandy instead. And everybody's like, what the fuck?
Oh, this shit again.
So, like, Judith gets pissed off, and, like, she finds Wayne, and they start, like, beating the shit out of each other.
Fucking God.
Her and Wayne.
Right.
Like, they both end up, like, knocking out each other's teeth and shit.
Oh, that's intense.
And Wayne's like, don't you see? We're meant to be. Like, I need a crazy bitch, and you need a man who'll put you in your place. That's the other thing I forgot. There is a backstory for why Judith is such a hardcore bitch.
Okay, what is the backstory?
Her ex-boyfriend was like this Taiwanese like UFC fighter dude who would like either like Taiwan or Thailand or something and fight in like these fist fights to the match, and she would like fist fights to the death.
Right, yeah.
Like death matches.
I got it.
And so of course she got like the shit beat out of him while she was like watching and stuff. And she's like, it's the weirdest scene because like it's supposed to be like this scene about like her witnessing her boyfriend dying, but like they're trying to make it funny by having her like scream in Vietnamese the whole time.
Oh. Okay then.
I forgot to mention that this movie is actually pretty racist. It's also pretty sexist, but it's pretty racist. Because there's a scene that I forgot about where Jack Black and Wayne are chasing Judith down. I think the first time she escaped, and she like goes into like the first house she finds, and she's like banging on the back door, and she's like, "Fuck, let me in, let me in, let me in." And this guy looks out from like the second floor window, and it's like this old creepy Chinese dude. And like all of a sudden, like this romantic music starts playing, and then he like pops a mint or like sprays cologne or something, and he says something like, "What's the character's name? I've got it handy here. What is the character's name?"
Let's just call him like.
Oh, it just says old man.
Oh, okay.
But like we'll call him Wang for the sake of argument. And he's like, "Yup, Wang's getting laid." And so he goes down to open the door to her, and she's like, "Nope, fuck that," and she runs away.
Wow, nice.
And I'll be right back. I have to run a quick errand.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, fuck. How does this shit always happen? Like every episode, it's just me and Craig left alone in a call on the podcast. How are you doing, Craig? How's life been treating you in the Craigiverse? Any new comeuppance happened recently? That's anything interesting? Anything funny you want to mention on the podcast? You don't tend to talk a lot, Craig. So I just want to make sure everybody's feeling included.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh fuck, Sam's back. All right, cool. Never mind. Fuck you, Craig. All right, let's go.
Okay, so they have the whole. So like Wayne and Judith get in a fight, and Wayne's like, "I need a crazy bitch. You need a man who'll put you in your face." So like they end up like, "Okay, fuck it, we're getting married too." So it's like, wow, it's a double wedding now.
Okay.
But then it gets even weirder.
All right.
Like, because like the football coach is there and stuff, right? And he ends up coming out and he's like, "Yeah, I've been a closeted gay man my entire life too." And so now him and Jack Black are getting married.
What the fuck?
So the movie ends with just a triple marriage with like Silverman and Sandy, Wayne and Judith, and like Jack Black and the football coach.
Is that it? Is that the whole movie?
Yeah, they all get married, they all make out or whatever, and that's like, I'm trying to remember if there's anything more to it. I'm pretty sure that's basically it. That's the ending of the film.
That's a satisfactory ending right there.
Yeah, so that's the movie I watched this past week.
That sounds like a good movie.
That's the thing. I feel like it was a movie that was like really amazing on paper because like you can tell a lot was edited out of it. There is like an unrated cut or like an R-rated cut or whatever that I need to watch that goes like even darker or even like more perverted than this one does because this one is kind of sanitized.
It's probably just like nudity, maybe.
I don't know what it is. I haven't looked it up, but yeah, that's the movie I watched this week. That's what I spent 90 minutes of my time on.
Holy shit.
It could have been something great, but it's just too damn awkward.
Yeah.
I forgot. There was one more moment where I laughed.
Okay, what is this hilarious moment?
So it was right after. Again, this is another racial stereotype joke, so I shouldn't be laughing. But it was right after Judith.
It's okay to laugh at. It's okay to laugh at mean things sometimes. It's everything in moderation.
Okay, so this is right after Judith says that like, "Oh, Silverman, you can't hang out with your best friends anymore." So like, well, crap, we need a new lead singer for like our Neil Diamond cover band.
Right.
So they just find like some random Indian guy.
Oh.
and so he's like getting really into it and stuff, but like he doesn't know the lyrics, and he's like dancing around and like singing like every Indian stereotype would.
Okay.
And I don't know why, but I laughed at that.
Yeah, all right. I mean, an okay joke, I guess. Like, it's not terribly funny, I don't think. But I mean, like,
Yeah,
is
that,
would you say that's all we got for today though?
I don't know what else I could talk about.
All right. Well, see, that was an okay joke, but Sam, do you want to hear an even better joke?
Yes, please.
All right. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Shit talks.
Shit talks who?
Shit talks is over by Craig.